probably more women do have challenges than not. We overcommit. Right. We want everybody to be happy. We want to make sure we're balancing everyone's needs, so we stop taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. And we're innately problem solvers, and people look to us to get things done and fix and do things. So we just start doing that, and then we burn the F out.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. We're two moms and we popped babies out in our 40s. And it's hard.
It was hard.
It's also the best thing that's ever happened to either one of us.
Yeah, but now we're moms in our 40s.
In our 40s.
With preschoolers. So let's talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
Let's bring the community together of women, and let's talk about like real shit. Real life, real women shit.
Yeah, real women shit. Let's do that.
Shit's hard. And also it's funny.
Cheers. Unfiltered.
Because if you want a show, we're a shit show. We're here for you.
Yeah.
This is our, we just got back.
I am Moana.
Welcome to Maturish Mamas, where we sing Moana nonstop.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Cheers. If you're wondering why we look so incredible if you're watching us, we'll describe our look and we'll also tell you why we look so incredible.
Sí.
La respuesta es siempre sí.
I do have to say that since we got home, I really can't stop speaking Spanish to people all night last night. I was like, hola, no, hello.
I was confused when I was just out and about, and I'm like, good morning, and hey, good morning, because that's what you do in Mexico. But they weren't quite understanding.
Yeah, they're like, why is this lady at the Costco like all up in my face?
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Buenos dias, mamacitas.
You having a margarita? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Shopping? Me
Where?
too.
Let's meet at the bar later.
It's challenging. Also, it's cold in Denver.
It's freezing.
Freaking frigid.
Guess what? It's
in
going to
April.
snow.
Yeah, it's going to snow. And so we're wearing our hoodies, but we're not ready to give up on the Mexico yet.
No, so we brought our cover-ups, our swimsuit cover-ups, to wear with our hoodies and our shells.
And our
hats.
Oh, and our umbrellas. Our hats. Look at Cancun.
Look at Cancun. Cancun. We got a Cancun. I got the yacht club from Cancun passed down to me from Alan.
You guys, if you guys read the Bye For Now episode, you know about Alan. And he just recently passed, Megan's father-in-law.
Yeah.
And I've got on Auntie Grandma Vicky's, who just passed last month. I got her Cancun hat on because we're going through all of our stuff right now and taking some things that remind her of her. So she gets to be, and Alan gets to be in the episode today. So we have nothing planned. They're going to zoom into our bodies and they're just going to talk.
Hello.
Just kidding. I was like, what is our Alan voice going to be like? And then, of course, we have our conch shell necklaces that basically are 16 pounds that look good.
I love when Descript says, stop doing that.
Yeah, there's like thumbs down, you guys. This part of the show is inappropriate. Oh, again. Okay.
Right to your mouth this time.
Oh my gosh, Megan! Tell me about this dinner last night. You were speaking the Espanol at.
I was at an amazing dinner last night. We got the coolest experience through my husband's work. Robert Irvine did a guest celebrity chef dinner pairing with Troy Guard at Garden Grace.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
5-course
dinner, incredible food. Pairing with wine, every meal, every course. It was kind of cool because it was like a duel almost.
Ooh.
So there was 2 courses to two pieces to every course.
Yeah.
So one was Robert's and one. Thank you.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yes.
They like that one. One was Robert's and one was Troy's. So it was kind of cool to like get a comparison of each. So there was 2 appetizers, 2 main courses, 2 desserts. And there was a pairing with each.
You eat like a mouse, so that had to be interesting for you.
It was. And then, so what was really cool is I picked up some yummy January on the plane or something on my way way home from Mexico.
Yeah.
So we got home Tuesday, and I felt fine Tuesday, and then I got up in the middle of the night on Tuesday, and then I basically slept for the next 36 hours.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And so I didn't eat a damn thing, and then I had a 6-course meal.
Oh,
with wine pairing.
You're like, you know what? I'm going to make up for lost time. Oh my gosh.
So it was just a really incredible dinner. It was,
Yeah.
they do it a lot at Garden Grace, which if you guys haven't been there, it's a really beautiful, beautiful restaurant with amazing food. Troy Garden is.
Where's that?
It's downtown.
Give me some coordinates.
Downtown. I couldn't tell you.
Downtown, the Denvers. When you're in Colorado,
right in
the Denvers.
City. But I just get in the car and someone drives me there.
Yeah, that makes
but,
sense.
You know, Troy Guard's been around for a long time. He has some really, really great restaurants, and he's just the nicest guy. And he paired up with Robert for this. They're doing like a charity event for.
Oh, cool.
This is veterans. It was for veterans, and
What a
they
fun
do a lot.
experience.
Yeah, he does. Robert Irvine does a lot for veterans and wounded warriors and stuff like that. So it was so cool to be a part of. So I just want to share how cool that was.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank them both.
Who? Robert? Or
Robert.
What?
Robert or what?
Which one did you like better of the meals? Did you know whose was whose?
Yeah, I
on each
did.
one? Yeah.
So they gave you a menu, which was cool, and it
Yeah.
told you what was coming up and then who was cooking it. But then they were also cooking, and they were mic'd up in the back.
Yeah.
And so when someone was cooking, they were talking with the chefs in the back, and the other one was like walking around schmoozing the room.
Oh, fun.
It was so cool.
That's fun.
So I'm gonna if it's gotta go, someone's gotta win, right? Someone's always gotta win.
Someone's gotta win.
Someone's
Give
gotta
us
lose.
yeah.
I'm
Wait,
gonna go.
still in today's age? Is there a winner and a loser? I think we're
Well-
getting back to that. We might have winners and losers.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
in my today's age,
Okay.
everyone can still have a participation
yeah,
award, but
and
someone also
also
going to win and
a
someone's
win and
also going to
lose.
lose. So I'm going to have to go with my homeboy Troy. It was
Homeboy Troy. He's getting it.
woo.
Oh my gosh. Oh, way to go, Troy.
Yeah, way to go, Troy.
Getting
Love
it.
you, Robert. The food was delicious too, and I just really do love what you were bringing for the event and the charity that you were doing. But as far as deliciosos,
Both were good. Both got
were
a
good.
participation award. And hey, Troy. Hey. Oh, man. Sidetrack from dinner
Side.
conversation. Megan almost got bit by a monkey in Mexico.
a monkey literally walked right up to me, looked in my eyes, and was like, I'm going to climb you. And he grabbed my clothing, and I screamed at him because I was scared, and it scared him.
Get the fuck away, you monkey.
But I said it in his language. Yeah, and he
ran. He
Yeah, he
scrambled.
ran. Yeah, it scared the crap all out of me.
That was wild, though. Like, we were in the middle of a
was.
plaza, and these monkeys just, like, dip on down. Like, hey, you guys want to dance? And Megan was like, no. In fact, I don't.
thank you.
As Caston's running to the monkey, like, let's hug and embrace.
I know. It's been a little traumatic for him because even last night before bed, he was like, "Is the monkey going to bite me?" It's like, no, the
Most
monkey
people
was
love
just
monkeys.
scared.
He's got a fear of
Yeah.
monkeys.
Well,
He's
they were
no.
like eye to eye. They
Yeah.
were like, and he was like, I mean, the
'Cause they're same
teeth
size,
and like,
yeah.
and his long arms.
They're
like,
so cute until they're in your face, you
until
guys.
they want to
for me.
to climb you,
Yeah,
or
that's-
steal your toddler.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. So poor
Caston's
Cass.
just swinging from the trees. My Cassie,
Like, I guess you're gonna be Tarzan now.
Yeah, I loved you so much. I'll meet you on the beach tomorrow
Yeah.
sometime, wherever you make it there.
I hope.
Oh, buddy. Speaking of Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
I mean, if you didn't know, we went to Mexico.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, Mexico was fantastic. It was a really cool new trip. We took some extra people with us, so it was a little different than our last one. Let's do Rose Thorn. You want to do high low? Rose Thorn?
Rose Thorn.
Okay,
I always
okay.
wonder about that. Like, when you ask your kids the high low, I'm like, do you really want them to think about the low? But then also, like, you do want them to understand where they can improve upon. So I'm always like,
Yeah.
is it like high improve upon? Because you know me and my wacko languaging. But yeah,
Yeah,
Rose Thorn.
no, I like that.
I like it.
Yeah, Rose Thorn.
Okay.
Okay, I usually like to start with the thorn because then you end on the high, on the petals, on the beautiful rose.
Except for, I think a lot of our entire conversation
Is
today is
about
going to be the thorn. Let's start with the rose and then
start with the
talk
rose.
about, and then do all thorns the rest of the hour.
Okay, cool. Let's just do
But
one.
in-
We'll
but
do
in life-
rose, and then just talk.
Okay.
thorns.
In life, though, I think that's a very good recommendation, right? Like instead of be like, let's end on a low note, kids, right before bed. What was your favorite part of the day? Awesome. What did you really hate? What really pissed you off?
Yeah, right.
Let's not do
Let's
that.
really get into it tonight. Okay,
Go to
bye.
bed. I have sweet dreams.
Yep.
I hope you manifest some great things
I
while you're
hope you
sleeping.
wake up feeling fantastic in the morning.
With monkey biting dreams. That was my least favorite part. Awesome.
Yeah.
Take that in. Okay, good things.
Okay, my favorite part. Gosh, it is very hard, but
I can't just do one. I'm gonna because otherwise I feel like too constrained.
I know. Okay. I just love, I mean, first one that comes to my brain is getting a massage on the beach with the ocean waves and the breeze and like the just amazing moment of gratitude thinking, holy shit, this is my life. Like
Freaking
unreal, beautiful.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That you took
I took it?
You took one of my best. I mean, and you guys, the masseurs, they were like, they never even like stopped touching your skin. It was the most incredible massage, and it was only $40 versus like $180 in the good old spa.
To the salon.
Oh my gosh, we'll tell you. That's how we'll end today.
Okay, that's a good idea.
If we remember, we probably won't. That's fine. So I would say you and me at the kids club was one of my moments because we couldn't quite get the kids to go to kids club on their own. Cassie's a little bit young. My kids are my kids. So we just went and we went to kids club while they went to kids club. There was an ice cream bar. We got some helados. We sat there. We laughed. They were playing jump rope. We jumped in the double tube. Like as you described it, you're way better. Oh wait, we already described it in our other video.
Okay, well, we'll put the video up.
Yeah.
So you guys can see it.
So
Because it's pretty good.
Yeah. Yep. So we did some
Just drifting
drifting
away.
It was fun. I loved that moment.
I like that moment
Yeah.
too. That was fun. And it just felt like a really funny little connection, just us like
15 minutes of just,
Bye,
a
kids.
little something.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just waking up every morning in paradise. Like
That's not bad.
That's pretty awesome.
Don't hate that.
The weather was incredible the whole time we were
Nailed
there.
it. Yeah.
Of course, our Johnnies are just the coolest guys that they're just like big ballers out there. And I love that energy with them. And
Everybody
So
knows.
everybody
the Johnnies.
knows
They
the Johns.
We're like, where's Johnny? Where's Johnny? Is Senor Johnny coming soon? Where's the Johnnies?
I know they're asking for them, which I love that. And then they're treated so kindly by these people too. So I like seeing our Johns like that. That
Me
was the
too. I
favorite
feel like
part.
that's like a role that really just like they own that, and in there they really can own it in a different level.
Yeah.
So they're money bag Johnnies out there. They're
That
just
is
like
so
they
sweet.
bring all the monies to just give to every human they see, and they love the way it makes them feel
Yeah.
and the way it makes the person receiving feel, and it's
Yeah.
cool to watch.
It is cool.
I love that too. I also loved our Italian dinner where we all sat
together, family dinner.
Yeah, we had one where we all sat together and just had a beautiful experience and went out on the beach and took these gorgeous pictures
Yeah.
afterwards. And that was just a neat, like, I don't like calm, low key, fun, gentle
family
experience. Love
totally.
that.
Yeah. I did love having Kim with us this time. That's been something that I'm trying to think if we've done.
Kim's her mother-in-law.
My mother-in-law was able to join us this time, and I'm like, we've traveled together and we've done things
Yeah.
together, but I don't think we've ever done like a special trip where we were doing vacation and then it was just Johnny, Kim, me, and Cass. You know what I mean? I mean, along with you all too, but
Right.
you know,
Having
so
that
that was
family
really
time.
special. Yeah,
That's cool.
it was cool.
I love that. So those are our roses. We got some roses. Great trip. And last night I was just trying to sleep because, you know, as a mother, we've talked about this. You just don't sleep. Our kids don't rest, if you can hear that. Maybe you can't. They
don't go below an 8 either. So
That's why we've got to get ours to the 12.
11.
I'll turn us up. Hey guys, that might just turn them up actually, whatever.
Find out.
Oh man. So I'm just, I'm trying to sleep and I'm thinking about some of the things and reflecting on the trip and my, some things that I wish I would have done differently. Because when I came home from the last trip that Megs and I got to go on, I literally, I like every single piece of it was just like this romantic version of perfection for me. I mean, like that's
a great
lie.
way to say it, though.
But there were a couple really hard, challenging things we moved through, but we moved through them Oh, thank you. Thumbs up. We moved through them together, during that experience. But it was all just like
travels parts and stuff.
Well, and death. And
that's right.
Yeah. So there were a couple hard things that happened on last trip. But just go back and watch that episode. Bye for now. So this one, I felt like, when we came home, I didn't feel rested. I didn't feel really super hyped and connected with my Johnny. I was like, there's just some things that I want to evaluate, and I don't want to evaluate it to get stuck in it.
Yeah.
I want to evaluate it so that on the next trip we can create some even more positive experiences and get back to that same space. Right. And what I landed on was boundaries, and how I don't think that I respected and took care of my own boundaries on the trip. And I stepped into this major role of people pleaser, which is not my normal state. I'm usually pretty damn good with my boundaries and taking care of my different priority log. And I just didn't on this trip. And so as I was acknowledging everything, I'm like, all of it is, of course, we're always the sole responsible party for something that occurs, because it's how we react and how we communicate and how we move through things. And I think that was just a really great eye-opening realization for me. And I'd love to just share a couple of those different things.
Yeah, I think that's a great topic for today.
Yeah. And
because it bleeds over into everyday life for everybody.
Yeah. And just looking at so taking it from this, we want to talk to you guys about your boundaries. And do you can share here in the Maturish Mamas group or in the comments, if you have had challenges with boundaries in the past, because absolutely. And I don't know what woman hasn't, at least at some point. And I think it's probably more women do have challenges than not. We overcommit. Right. We want everybody to be happy. We want to make sure we're balancing everyone's needs, so we stop taking care of ourselves.
Yeah. And we're innately problem solvers, and people look to us to get things done and fix and do things. So we just start doing that, and then we burn the F out.
Yeah. The last trip I came home and I was like, when do we plan the next one? This one, I think that I've slept for almost 3 days straight, or tried to sleep as much as I can. By sleeping, I mean laying on the couch while I have 2 children who act like monkeys, jumping all over me and just dragging down my face, which I love that too. But
your body's not moving.
Yeah. It was, my eyes were closed.
That's rest.
That's
restful.
That's mom's nap. A mom's nap is being clawed by 2 monkeys in the face. Agree or disagree?
Come on, descript.
Give us the thumbs up.
Yeah.
So what I realized, and just had this eye-opening experience of seeing, was, number one, I felt like I needed to have a space for everybody around the pool. So I felt like I needed to get up and save spaces, because it was spring break and it was busy. So I was like, I'm going to commit to getting up there and being at the pool. So I would wake up early, and then my mom is that type of person too, but she never had all the towels. So I wanted to please my mom. I didn't want her to have to do it by herself. So this is all on me. Again, I'm trying to please her. I'm trying to please everyone. I wanted Kim to have a comfortable spot to sit. I wanted to have Witten to have shade. I wanted my mom to have shade. Those were my 3 priorities. So I'm like, what ended up happening is I got to the pool every morning, and then I didn't get to see my husband. I didn't get to go to breakfast. So we would take turns for breakfast. So I had one family breakfast, and then I was just running by, grabbing something real quick. So I missed this entire 6 to 10 a.m. time period with my family, trying to cater to everyone with love, but also without boundaries.
Right.
And nobody asked me to do that. Nobody requested. I could have communicated differently and said hey guys, let's take turns saving chairs. Or do you guys even care if we have chairs? Or Mom, do you really care if I meet you? But I just made these assumptions, and then I set myself up for failure in that way. Taking all that on, right? And then throughout the day, I'm so used to being mom. I don't know about you, Megs. You do a pretty good job, and you and Johnny's I feel like give and take in the motherhood piece of it. But I feel like it was my responsibility to make sure that the kids were cared for and having fun. So I was the one running back and forth to kids club, going down to play with the sand castles, taking the kids to meet friends, meeting the kids' friends, making sure they had somebody to play with. So that took up a major chunk of my day.
Yeah. And I think it's a little bit different for you, because you have 2 and they're older and they do need more entertainment, kind of,
and they're not just pool. Your baby's a pool baby,
and they're
throw him
not.
in the pool, and he's good.
mean, Quincy likes to be in the pool, but he'd rather have a friend to play with in the pool, and Cass is like, Mom, catch me. My baby, he really is just I'm fine to be in the pool
so
all
cute.
day long.
Yeah.
So they just, it's a different situation
Right.
for sure. And
Yeah.
John and I also will be in the pool all day long. So
Yeah. And I'm not.
It works out for us.
Yeah.
You know?
So they just like have this little family pool unit, which is really cool to watch. And then I felt like I was like kind of sprinting around in circles again, never hanging out with my John, but getting like 3 minutes with each person here and there. So like not a lot of quality time, but just like, and quality time, it was still wonderful, by the way. This was just me acknowledging, okay, I could do that differently. I could ask John, hey, let's go together to take the kids to the kids club, or let's go do putt golf together, because those were all the things I was doing. Yeah. Or the night times we were at the plaza with the kids every night.
Yeah.
And that just, I was like, that's on me. You can go back and do whatever. I'm going to stay out here, take care of the kids. So that was the third thing. And then I took that all the way into burning my nighttime candle, where I like to be in bed at 8. And that was my commitment to myself. We made the commitment. We'd be like back at the room. I love doing our nighttime routine.
I know.
We like do this little nighttime face.
Getting our faces
And
done.
then just cuddle into bed with the kids by 8:30, I think it was 9 at the latest ever, like one night. And this time I only like acknowledged or like committed to my boundary one night. So for me, the reason why that's such a big deal, you guys, is because number one, when you have kids, okay, so if you don't have kids, don't complain to us about
What are you
sleep.
doing here?
Yeah, just kidding. and like the sleep thing,
teasing. We love you anyways,
we
but-
do. But you might have to wake up to pee at night. Okay, there are some like serious insomniacs, like there's some issues there, of course. But like for most of us, you're like, but I have to pee every night, or I have to roll over. Like that's not the same as having a child tugging at you and doing all the things, right? So there's that. But then when you have, a normal kid, then you've got like kid that's like maybe rolls over and winces and like, mom, and you're like, shh, and you go back to sleep. Like it's limited interruption. It's still interrupted, but it's limited. Then you have a diabetes insipidus baby and a kid who fears abandonment. And the combination of the two at home, you guys, means that like last night, I think I got up 6 different times, and not like kind of rolled over, got up, got a kid, moved a kid somewhere else. I had to go get chocolate, had to take away into the bathroom, take away into the bathroom again, get another chocolate. So it's like at home, I really don't ever get into a REM cycle. But the magic is when I get to the lower elevation, Witten's medication works. We're all in one family bed. So both of my kids have no issues. So the last trip, Megs, I slept for 6 nights. And the time before that I slept was when we went to Florida, because I was in bed by every night at 8:30. And the time before that was Hawaii, because I didn't let go of my boundaries during those trips. I allowed myself and committed to and communicated and didn't let anything get in my way of sleeping.
Yeah.
And this trip, I wanted to please everybody else who wanted to go out at night. So then I didn't go to bed until after 10 or even 11 multiple times, and then still woke up at 6 to say the chairs. So like all of that to be said, still loved the trip, so grateful for it. And now I feel like, because when people were asking me, how was it? I was like, kind of like, it was great, son. Like I didn't know how to answer, because I love to be authentic, and positive. But so like, how do I do those two things? So now I realize it was a great learning experience for me of how I want to do things next time. And I'm so grateful for that.
Totally. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to me not acknowledging my boundaries.
Amazing. What a beautiful setting to learn such an important
For sure.
lesson.
I could have been doing that here in Colorado.
I know. And why would you want to? Like, let's go to Mexico and learn that.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. I love that. I love that you shared that. I love that you came home and thought about it and was like, what's up? What's happening right now?
Because I could tell that there was an aggravation I could have just pushed down and not identified
or easily just blamed everybody else for it as well. Like,
for sure.
Like nobody did this, or people made me stay out, or, John didn't help with this, or, it could have been like 1,000 different ways to blame when you said, you know what, that was on me. I should have said I needed help. I should have said, do you want to go? I should have said, I don't want to go. You know, like what an amazing realization.
Yeah.
And really cool thing to share.
And it
about a thorn.
Yeah. And as I was laying there, I was like, Megs and I were going to just talk about vacationing with kids today, which we can do another time. But I was like, this is too on my heart, because I think that a lot of women feel this every day in their life, that they're not speaking up for themselves. They're not asking, they're not saying yes, and they're not saying no. inappropriate times.
I totally agree. I think it's a really, really common thing, especially among women, and then even more so when you become a mom.
Yeah.
So I know from personal experience, I was horrible at boundaries. I had no boundaries.
Yeah.
I literally had none when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like in my 20s, none.
What did that feel like to you?
I would stop showing up. I would say, I'm going to come here, and then I wouldn't go. And so I was letting the people I cared about and loved, my friends, I was hurting them by just not saying no, which it wouldn't have hurt them to say that, you know?
Right.
That's
I think that's a really key point to touch on for a lot of people that have challenges with boundaries, is that you say yes because you don't want to hurt their feelings, and then you don't show up. And guess what hurts worse than just saying no in the first place?
Yeah, that definitely does. Like I think about that now, and it makes me sad that I was, that way at that moment, but it just was the way that it was because I wanted to do and be and do everything for everyone and be everything for everyone. So
don't you think also that gives you the opportunity to have grace with other people? Because I have a lot of no-shows in my life, and I learn who my no-shows are. And then I just don't, when they commit to something, I just know that it's not true. And like, instead of being mad about it, I'm like, yeah, they said they want to get together on Friday afternoon, but I know that we won't. So I'm not going to stop my plans if they end up wanting to join. So instead of being frustrated at other people, because you've been that before.
Totally.
So
I've 100% been that. Yeah. My friends will tell you.
Ask them. You guys share some
the ones
story
that
about
are still
Megan's
around, they'll be like, oh yeah, that bitch is out all the time. and then I just wouldn't answer my phone and I'd go to sleep.
But you don't do that at all anymore.
No.
In my experience, like you're very good at looking at your calendar, communicating, and then like you communicate clearly, even if when we have like a mishap, like you do a great job.
I try to. I've tried to, and I've learned more for sure. Because because it doesn't feel good when it happens to you, and then you learn from that too. And then I've also learned from other people about how easy it is just to say, sorry, that's not going to work, or I totally forgot about this, or I'm not feeling like it today.
Right.
I love you, and I'll call you tomorrow, or whatever that is. So, just showing up authentically is the way to go.
Even just this morning, one thing that I try to do when I have the really close people in my life is even offer them that more, like acknowledging, because I'm like, Megs and I,
so sweet this morning.
Well, we've both been on the mend. We're both like coming off Mexico. I'm back to like not sleeping, trying to figure out my stuff. You haven't felt good. I knew she went out to this incredible dinner last night, and I was like, if you don't want to record this morning, don't worry about it. We'll find other times, because I didn't want you to have the pressure of that. So being empathetic of the other side, and also, so it's like, here's just what do you want to do? And she's like, no, let's get up and let's record. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really sweet gift to offer other women. Dudes, sorry, you just have to say no, because it's so easy. You're like, fuck that, I don't want to do that. And we're like, okay, nobody cares that you are just even a total butthead about it, but and everyone's fine with it. So I don't care about that. But
they're so much better at communicating than us.
So much. I mean, in some ways.
Well, yeah, no,
way.
Only in saying no.
Only in saying no. But yeah, so what a nice gift to like offer your friends or your other moms, or even just like people in your life that they may be struggling with something like that. Because then what is really cool that I'm just like putting together is when you do have a beautiful friend offer you something like that and they allow you to say no, they're giving you the practice to say no and know that it's okay.
Yeah.
Without having to just say it outright.
Because the first time you say it, sometimes you just feel like an asshole.
Yeah, you do. And then
and
then I know there are tons of people who can spiral and it's like, now they hate me. They're never going to ask me to do anything again, or they're mad at me. And now, so then it like goes into this deep, dark hole where it's like, it's just as a no.
Yeah.
It's just a no.
And sometimes there's different stages, just like we've previously talked about in our friendship episode, where like if there's repetitive no's all the time, you guys might kind of be on a different path right now. And that's okay too, where like, if I continuously tell somebody no, or here's my boundaries, I am going to go to bed at 8, and somebody can't, like, if that can't be an option, then I need to make some different decisions, you know? And that's, so like, there might be things in your life where it's like, yeah, there's some like points where I need to commit to that boundary, and relationships will kind of move and ebb and flow a little bit. And that's cool.
Totally. That's totally cool. I will touch on one thing for me as far as boundaries go. I'm really, really struggling right now because I'm having a parental boundary that is so hard for me. And it took me a really, really long time to finally put a boundary up with that. And it's still being railroaded. And that is just so it's not always black and white or so easy to say, like, say no, or this is your friend and just do this. Like with this one, I'm struggling still to this day, like with what to do. And my boundary goes like this all the time. And so just know, or if you have any tips, I could really use some with my dad is where I'm struggling. And it's just like, it's almost like it's not even literally didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
Didn't even hear it. And now it's like,
because you're setting boundaries. You have set the boundary, and it's being ignored.
100% completely ignored. But then also there's other factors, like with health, and in some ways too. Then I start to be like, is this cruel?
Right?
Am I hurting someone in a way that I really shouldn't be by setting a boundary that so it's like a really weird
Or
place
if you're
to
not
be
setting
in,
a boundary, are you enabling? Because there's the opposite side too.
Also true.
So it is very much so not black and white. It's this gray territory. And I just can't imagine. Well, I can't imagine because I get to hear you and see you go through it. Yeah. But what that's like for all of you guys who it's like, but I set the boundary and this person keeps moving beyond that. Like, what am I supposed to do when they won't acknowledge, like, where do I land when it comes to that? You guys answer that one because we don't have the answer for it.
Right. And I would like to hear some ideas. Yeah. Yeah. Either here or, dude, the Facebook squad is popping, get on over there, get in on it. This has been so cool. Sorry, here we're gonna thorn it and then rose it up again.
Rose it up. We can't not put a rose right in there
because that I'm loving. Oh my gosh, meeting all these women and
almost 1,000 women just over the last couple weeks.
I love it, and it's like been a really cool place to connect with stuff like this, or just like say. I love all the mommies that are like, I'm a mature-ish mom. I have 3 kids. They're 12 and 2 and 5 months. What the heck's wrong with me? Or you know what I mean? Like,
I'm losing my mind. Yeah. Us too, girl. Yeah. Us too. It's lost. One thing I think about in boundaries, I was in my ponderance last night. I was like, how does this like really work? Like, what are the key pieces of boundaries? And the first thing that I was thinking of, like, well, first you have to know what you want. Like, you have to define your boundaries, because I didn't define my boundary before I went. I defined that I wanted to go to bed early, but I didn't define anything else. I didn't define how I want,
like for yourself,
for myself,
for you.
Okay, yeah, and let me back that up because
back
it up. We haven't sung too much today. Back it up. But the kids are singing. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear them.
We got some fly girls in the background over there.
It's spring break. We are not about to try to stop whatever's happening down there. There's probably toilet paper everywhere. There's like they're TPing the house.
Oh, I hope so. I hope that's what they're doing. That would be awesome.
Look, Mom, we decorate. It's happened before for sure.
It has.
Oh my gosh. Is that
one time they diapered the house? Remember when they diapered the house? They did.
Like, because DI baby, I've got my like 9 million diapers in there, and then like these big posy pads and all this different stuff, and just like chucked them everywhere. That looked nice.
It was cute.
That was neat. Yeah. Way to go, guys! And we just like shoved them in a bag and threw them back in the closet. Didn't organize them. Yeah. Why? Because they might just diaper them again later.
Exactly.
They might,
or they're going on someone's booty.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Who cares?
Like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So backing it up is thinking about you, like who your priorities are. So like, Megan, if I had to tell you, like, give me your top 5 people priorities, like who's number 1?
Caston.
Number 2?
Johnny.
Yep.
Myself.
Yeah, it was like, that's your kind of your order.
Yeah, that's
right?
most of the time.
And
it kind of flips around sometimes.
Yeah. Flips to the dips. Broke my nails in Mexico. Flipping you off right now.
Those are my 3 top priorities right now of all time. Yeah. Right now, those are my top 3.
And do you feel like you adhere to those priorities generally? Like, do you feel like you do what's right for Caston first?
Sometimes.
Mostly.
Yeah. Mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not always.
Yeah.
No, not always. Sometimes I do what's right for me.
Yeah.
And then that's not right for Caston. Or sometimes I do what's right for me, then it's not right for Johnny. Or sometimes I do what's right for Johnny and it's not right for me.
Right.
Or I do something that's right for Johnny and it's not right for Caston.
You did them all.
Do you guys get it?
You did them all. Well, and I think that's like, so starting with that, because if you're going to define what your boundaries are, you have to define what they're around, So like, I would say, like, I always like have God first in my religion, but that doesn't really take any priorities because that's an all day, every day sort of thing. So it doesn't even have to really be on the list because it's just there. And then I would say the same things like kids go up top. When I have 4 kids, so like if you're on my laundry list of humans, like you're just so you're gonna be down there, and that's part of the friendship with me.
Yeah, just right now in this time of life,
and forever, because those are my 4
and forever kids.
Yeah, right. So like kids. There's the 4, and then John, and then me. I would say the same way. Now, what's difficult sometimes about that is that when you put yourself down there, what happens is what happened to me in Mexico. And I also put friends above that. So it's like I dropped me way down and did all the other things, which actually ended up backfiring because then it was just like kind of hurting me and John and then hurting me. So defining like who you're taking a stand for, because then it's easier to set the boundary. If you're like, okay, here's my top 3, it's my kids, my spouse, and myself. You can love your friends, but it's going to make it easier to say no because you remember I'm taking a stand for my friends. Sorry. Do you think we should do a one just like, or how is it for you guys?
I love it. I think it's hilarious. And I'll tell you what, it's mine. It's Caston. I can tell it's him. It's him.
You guys just listen to him today. This is spring break episode.
It's spring break episode.
Fuck
Woo!
it, duck it.
Spring
do
break.
It.
We're having tea.
2025. I know. We're drinked out, you guys. Like, last week, not spring break, drinking on the episode. Yep. This week, tea. Collagen. Nightworks. That's like NO to help my blood circulation.
Yeah, we got to get that going. Got to get acclimated back to the Mile High City. Woo!
It's hot. It's rough.
It is rough. And somebody's calling. Hello.
I did this thing where I was like, hey family, make sure you don't call me. I'm doing an episode because it comes through even if I put you on D&D. And watch it, rapid fire calls too. We're not editing any of this out, so just deal with it.
Yep.
Hold on.
This is real life, unfiltered.
Yep, unfiltered.
Unedited.
Denied. Aren't I on? I'm on. Do not disturb.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
See, señorita.
Let's take bets as to how many times we get a call.
I'm going to go, I'll say just 2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking 3.
I was going to say 3, but I'm going to go with 2.
Yeah, okay. Well, so far so good. So know what your priorities are in order to do the next step, which what I was saying is like define what your commitments are. So like where you want to have boundaries around. I should have defined it was sleeping at night. Like that should have been my number 1 priority, honestly, because I don't get to, but whenever I travel. So if I only get to travel 10 nights a year, that's 10 nights of sleep a year. I should have made that a no matter what, not woken up early in the morning and went to sleep at night. So I define that.
Yeah.
Then the second thing I think is once you've defined it, and there's many boundaries. Can you think of it like what defining boundary could you think of? And I don't do your dad. That's going to be too hard.
No,
here.
that's not it. We're not going. I'm not going to push you guys through that shit.
We're not diving into that
no,
boat.
Not this time.
Or off the boat.
Nope. Defining boundary. I'm trying to think of something.
I know I just put you right on the spot.
I know.
Well, and you're pretty good with them, so you might already have them defined.
Well,
I know one for you.
Tell me.
You define your time spent with your different humans, and you prioritize that. So, like for example, tonight. It was like we were going to maybe go to the Ice Capades. Wasn't sure if she had something on her calendar. She's got her sister coming over and her nephews. She wants to watch the football game. You've defined that you're going to clearly communicate what the priority there is. And I think that's like, so it's beautiful. It's not thumbs up.
Yeah.
And it's not one person's better than the other or wins. It's that you're going to acknowledge and spend time with the humans that you love, and you're going to create space for them, which means you're not always going to have space for everybody.
Yeah.
You have to take turns.
That's true. I do
you
like
do a great
to
job.
really when I spend time with people, I like to spend time with them. So I do commit, and if I do have something committed and it's on my calendar, because it has to be, otherwise I forget.
Yep.
But if it's on my calendar and when I've committed to it, then that's what I'm doing. No matter what, someone could call me and be like, "Do you want to go to the Super Bowl?" I'll be like, "No, I'm hanging out with Missy."
Yeah.
Tonight at her house. But thanks for asking me.
I love
it.
it.
And so that's a true one for me too.
Yeah,
Like my boundary is like, I've already made plans with this person and that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really think about that being a boundary.
It really is. Yeah. Because it's just like you have a line between what I'm doing right now and what I'm not doing right now. And what I'm doing is spending time with the humans I said I was going to spend time with. And if all of us could take a note from that, that's a pretty big deal, because it's allowed you to maintain quite a few deep relationships from what I've seen. Yeah. And you do a really good job with that, just acknowledging.
Thanks for saying that.
You're awesome.
I do love my people. And I have a lot of brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
So that family unit is important to me. And I try and, everyone could be a little better at doing that sometimes. Believe me, it's hard as adults and stuff. But when I see them, I really do want to spend the time with them.
Yeah. I think that's neat.
Yeah. Thanks.
So there are some definitions that we can talk about. So like picking and choosing for all of you guys, like who am I setting boundaries around for? And then defining what the boundary is. The second one, I think, is where we really start to screw things up. Because I know I want sleep. You know that you want time with your humans. So we'll just use those as our examples, okay? Then you need to communicate it with the people around you. So I think sometimes that's where but they might be disappointed. She might be disappointed I don't go to the Super Bowl with her now.
Exactly.
But you and Missy are hanging out. So communicating that from a space of love. And you can still be fearful, but hopefully eventually without fear, saying here's the deal. And I did communicate before going to the trip. I was like, my priority is sleeping. I'm going to bed I told everybody, I'm going to bed at this time. I didn't even define the waking up. I didn't think about that in my brain. Yeah. So I didn't get to do that one, but I did communicate it in the beginning. So
you did.
Yeah. And you communicate I feel like you do a great job of communicating yours. If your boundary, we're just using the example of friendships.
Yeah, absolutely. If I even sometimes don't answer my phone if I'm with someone, especially when I'm with people that I don't get to spend a lot of time with.
I love that about you. You're not on your phone and you're not answering. I mean, if there was a serious situation, you would be I'll take care of that later. I'm with you right now.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It makes you feel really special to be able to be when somebody's got their head in their phone all the time, you're like, did they?
Yeah.
Do they even care if I'm here? Yeah, I'm right here. Yeah. I'd rather you spend 30 minutes with me than spend 4 days with me, not with me, distracted by other things.
100%.
100%. Drink your tea.
Yep.
Every time we say 100%.
New drinking game. That is one thing for sure. If you call me, you can call me 5 times. And I'll check. If you call me 5 times, I might check the voicemail and be like, okay, you just need me.
Yeah.
If it's emergency, I'll know. But I really don't. I put my phone away.
Thinking about communicating a boundary, when it comes to phones, is I don't expect somebody to answer because I called and tell me I can't talk right now. I don't know why. That's just weird to me. And a lot of my family does that. And I'm just like, hey, you know what? Just like John pushes the button, can I talk to you later? I know that means I'm busy. I'm probably in a meeting. I'm doing whatever. I'll call him 3 times or send him a text. It's an emergency if there were to be one. But to me, a communicated boundary would be if I call you, Megs knows this. If I call her, she's doing something else, she'll get with me when she gets with me. And that's cool.
And we have that understanding with each other.
Right.
It's not I think that is one thing that has really been a hard learn for people now that we are connected to a phone constantly.
Drives me nuts.
Because it's I am not available to you all the time, no matter
just because
what.
I have a device.
Yeah, no matter what. You call me. That's what phones are for. You call me. I don't answer. You leave a message. I listen to the message when I can, and I call you back when I can or I feel like it.
And if you text me and I read it, and you're like, oh, she left me on red. Fuck that. Grow up.
Yeah.
They read the message and they have something else they're doing. You're not the only person in their life.
Right.
They've got things going on. They'll get back to you when they get back to you.
Yeah. Sometimes
and if
I pick it up with intention to write back and I read it, and then Casten's painting the wall.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay.
I never write back.
And then I forget.
I usually write back and then I never press send.
Oh,
like
I've done that quite a few times
Because I'm like,
too.
oh, I haven't finished my thought. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, I wrote you this message. Do you like it? You're welcome. And I think for me, I know that part of my like boundaries and relationships, if somebody doesn't understand those things, if they say, but when I call you, I expect you to answer, I'm probably not your person.
Yeah.
Like that, and that's okay. But I'm not going to change that boundary because you want me to be readily available. And in any of your boundaries, if somebody's like, but when I tell you we're going to the Super Bowl, we're going, that's probably not your person.
No, yeah,
you
no,
know,
it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe that's why part of this is hard, is because when you establish boundaries, you are going to put a little bit of a wrinkle or a kerfuffle in some of your relationships, because when you say no and other people don't like it, they have to decide if they're going to accept you for who you truly are or if they're going to move on.
Yeah.
And I say, stick with who you really are and let them stay or let them go, but don't change who you are so that you're suffering through different things, feeling obligated and torn into two and like just so stressed about where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to hang out with, and but they're going to be disappointed if I don't show up. Like, don't do that to yourself.
No, we got one life. And really, you got to live it the way you want to, because it's yours to do so. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean you have to be mean or hurtful or even, and it's going to be hard when you start doing it. It's going to be hard for people because that's just like the situation I'm going through right now. It's hard for him because I've never done it before. And now it's happening. So he's like, I'll just ignore it and then it'll go away.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be a muscle you're going to have to flex and work out a bunch before it's going to feel right. And it's okay to change your boundaries as things change for you too.
Yeah.
And people who love and care about you truly will get on board with that.
Yeah.
They'll stick because they love you.
Right.
Not for any other reason.
Yeah.
So
which that kind of just segues us into the third thing, which is being look how we did that. It's being like, what's the right word? Like resonant, confident, decide, like when you make the decision, not letting people
sway that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, woo you the other way.
Woo.
Yeah. No, it is like not letting people sway your decisions, because you're going to have certain people in your life who don't respect your boundaries, even though you communicated it. Like just with your dad, you've told him what you want. It's not being respected right now. And then you have to be the one who's strong enough to say no, even if like, but that makes me feel bad, or you don't love me, or that means you don't want to spend time with me, or you just really don't want to go to the Super Bowl with me.
I know.
Like,
yeah.
And
yeah. So I think too, it's like, when we're talking like this, it's like boundary sounds like such a hard, like, I'm setting my boundary. I'm going to bed at 8 p.m. Like, like it doesn't, and like now people are swaying you. And sometimes I don't think it's even a conscious decision. It's
right.
Like, just for that one, let's say I'm going to bed at 8 p.m. And then your friend's like, but no, we love you and want you to stay.
Right.
And it's not them trying to like extend, like supersede your boundary, not to step over your boundary.
Right.
They just love you and care about you. But that's why it's important for you to continue to stand confident and say, I love you too, but I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
Or I love you too, but I'm not answering my phone right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that is probably, I mean, I say everyone's like the most challenging, but that is very challenging to be like, I'm committed in this decision and I know that it's for me. I look at my priority. One of my priorities is that it's my self-care and my sleep, so I can take care of my children and my husband. And so I'm going to say no, even though part of me kind of wants to say yes, because it still sounds fun. Because some of those things, right? Like you're like, it might not be that bad. It might have a great, the Super Bowl would be fun. It would be really fun. But also here's where I'm at. So as you look through those different things, that's why I kind of thought that would be supportive. Like, right, really setting what your ding is, like who your priority, who you're setting your boundaries around. Then taking the time to establish
what those boundaries are important. Yeah.
And it could be in your daily life. It could be like, so I am going on a trip. What are my boundaries for the trip? It could be around a certain friendship. Like, what are my boundaries for this friendship? Because it's always different. There's always new situations that arise.
Yeah.
And then communicating that with the person. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And then when
we'll blow on you.
We have so many videos. It's great. And then making sure that you commit to your boundary for yourself by acknowledging why you did it in the first place so that you can move forward. And then what'll happen is, the next day after your dad calls or your friend says they want you to the Super Bowl or people want you to stay up later, you're like, but I did it. Like I committed to what I wanted to. And now today I feel good about my decisions. And even though it was a little hard, or maybe someone's a little frustrated with you, you're sticking to what your people, your priorities, your situation are.
Right.
And that's really cool.
And I think it's at the end of the day, you being happy and feeling good and fulfilled and rested, or like you got to really connect with your friend or whatever it is, that is better for everyone involved, everybody. If you are feeling the way you're tip top 100%, the way that you want to be living your life, that's really better for everyone.
Yeah.
And if people do get frustrated or whatever, fine. But I have found that most of the time you say no and nobody cares.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. They move on. Like,
They're
who
like,
else is going to go to the escapades with me?
Yeah.
Like, Meg's couldn't go. I'm like, no problem. I just messaged 3 other people.
Exactly.
Like,
and
cool.
that's totally fine. And nobody's hurt. Nobody's feeling bad. Like,
Moving
they
on.
just know, okay, well, now when Megan's going to hang out with her friend, now I just know I'll just wait to hear from her till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or whatever that is. And it's really easy.
Yeah.
And then they start being able to know that that's just part of your relationship.
Yeah.
And then it's not really having to set boundaries all the time. You're just like, this is how I do it.
It's funny because I think that's so hardcore how my show up has been up until maybe even with Witten's care, because things got like kind of broken there. Not broken, but like I was pulled in different directions.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know that I had boundaries. And when I would go see my different like Reiki people or just a lot of different people in my world, they're like, well, you do have like this huge block around you. Like you've set more boundaries than more people that I know. And they're like, I didn't know that though, because it was just a part of who I was. And I never really felt any like anxiety or fear or like grief around the way people reacted or showed up to it, because it was just, this is how I'm doing my life for my family so that we get to move through in the one life that we have. And I felt great about it. And I say that only to let you guys know is if you've had a hard time with boundaries and you're like, yeah, but when I set boundaries, I know that I'm going to lose 10 of my friends. Maybe those people aren't really your best friends, and that's going to be okay when you're on the other side. Maybe you're going to end up with some really cool, closer relationships. Or when I set boundaries, it's going to be really hard to communicate with this family member of mine. Again, that's okay. And I want you to have the hope that you could be on the other side where it's like, it's just easy, and you do get to show up for yourself and your priority list.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
I hope some of you guys can get to the other side, including myself, because I hopped back over that rainbow to the other side. I was on one side, I was on the other side. Now I'm going to get back to the other side. So what I'm going to do? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I whip my hair back and forth.
I whip my hair back and forth. Okay, so one last story time.
One last story.
When we were in Mexico, cuando estábamos en la Mexico, I'm not in El Mexico. I'm not exactly sure how this happened.
I don't even know what she's going to tell you guys.
We jumped on the golf cart. Is that when it started? And one of us said, to the salon! And because if you guys haven't seen the Barbie show, well, let's not explain where they're from yet. So I say, to the salon! And immediately what comes out of Mandy's mouth is, I'll do that and you do the second part.
Okay.
Pull the lever, crunk!
Wrong lever. Why do we even have that lever? It just kept going.
Yeah. And then Meg shouts out,
get me a Reuben.
And it's like this, rapid fire. And we all look at each other like, why did, when I said, go to the salon, did you say, pull the lever, crunk, and you say, bring me a Reuben? So then we proceed to say it. For probably 5 days before we discussed it.
Like 5 days. We didn't even know where it all came from.
Didn't know why we were saying it.
Yelling. That was like our battle cry. Anywhere we went, anywhere.
That was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, that was good.
Just like Eddie, and like you, like to the beach, like it's 8 a.m. To the salon, pull the lever, crunk,
wrong lever,
bring me a Reuben. And then the kids started saying. So they just be down there, bring me, like on their like their game or whatever, or eating dinner, bring me a Reuben. And we're like, What? Making a sandcastle?
Yep. That's so great. That was great.
And then we're like, guys, what's happening here?
Yeah.
So finally I pull up the Barbie video because it's a TikTok or a reel where, they took the whole thing and Ken gets his hair all funky and they say, to the salon. And so that's mine. It's a Barbie show.
Mandy's is from Emperor's New Groove. Like, the bad lady, she's like, pull the lever, crunk, and then it falls, and she's like, wrong lever. Why do we even have that lever?
So we're from a cartoon show, Barbie, and a Disney movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Megs pulls, happy birthday. Balloons just went up if you guys aren't watching.
Yeah.
Then Megs is the best.
So
Megs, where'd you get yours? Where'd you get yours?
Scream, bring me a Reuben. Because at the beginning of the trip, my favorite John Carroll, told me a story while he was in Vegas that he was with his friend and he had a couple whiskeys. And then he's in his room by himself and his friend calls and he's like, we're at the restaurant. Where are you? What are you doing? And then John's just like, I want this and I want this. And then
being kind of a DICK, and he admitted it. That was his story.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think he knows. I think his friend told him about it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, finally just like, bring me a Reuben.
So she's quoting John Carroll. So we're wandering around the whole Mexico property on our booze cruises, that we told you guys about on our little carts. And we're yelling these three things, as are our children. Because why? Barbie, Disney movies, and John Carroll.
Yep, Christmas
Carol.
People loved us.
Beautiful culmination to our conversation about boundaries. It had nothing to do with it, but still, that's how we close for the day.
Amen.
Thank you and amen. Goodbye. Cheers.
Goodbye. We love you.
We love you. We love your guts. ILYG.
And we'll see you next Tuesday. Till
See
next
you
time.
Bye. I can't kick today.
Thanks for joining, and don't forget to subscribe and, of course, share with your friends. Guys, that's how we impact more lives. All right, see you next time.
Let me just...
Michelle.
Michelle.
My Michelle was Michelleable.
That looks... Yeah.
This is cool.
See my big hoof? It's all barefooted. Naked pony in the Mexico.
Yay. It's gonna be me.
Justin,
Oh, you had your Justin Timberlake hair. Where do I put my hands?
What do I do with my hoof, my hands?
Yep. No.
Oh, can't.
I'm done. I'm one and done with that one.
Allie, no matter how much you fucking try to convince me.
Nope. Yep. That's
Just
the truth.
say no, right? For every single one that we spilled into the pool. We're like, have a drink.
Let's just
Give me another one. Bring me another crunk. Bring me a Reuben. 3, 2, 1. Am I wearing pants or am I wearing shorts?
Yep. The answer is yes.
La
respuesta es siempre sí.
Oh, thank you, girl. Hey, you know what we never say? Guys, if you like the show, make sure you subscribe.
Yep.
And follow.
Yep.
Is that the same?
Yep.
Then maybe just share.
Just share it.
Yep.
But also subscribe.
And follow.
And follow. Also, we are on the Tiki-Talkie now.
Tiki-Talkie, we have 2 videos.
And they're
Boom.
horribly awesome.
Amazing. People are getting after them. Well, at least like 2,000 views. Like, we're crushing it. I think we have 47 followers so far.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, they're coming in hot.
Cool it down, ladies.
We can't keep up with all y'all. We can't
I'm
know
already
everybody's
having hot
background.
flashes. Jeez. Woo.
Okay. Want to get those kids? Get out of these cute outfits?
I don't know.
Nah. Let's just stay here and do this for a
Okay.
while longer.
All right. Sounds good to me. So, where are we going next?